Hey everybody, I'm Greg.
I'm Katie. Welcome to the fourth episode, part 3 of the A's of our 2022 and beyond board game challenge, playing through our entire collection. I swear that gets to be a bigger mouthful every time.
So do the games.
I gotta work on that.
But before we get started, go ahead and check us out on our social medias, which is Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can find us all by searching the Meeple Society.
Yep. All right, let's get started.
So I have this arranged actually in the way we played them, kind of, sort of, because that's upside down. So almost, kind of, sort of. Anyway, So we're going to start off with a quick little card game. It's called 10-Minute Heist, the Wizard's Tower.
This is we found this at Goodwill when we were in Phoenix.
And to tell you, we had to do it because we got it after we played the numbers. So
yes, this is a backup because we got this one after we did the number video.
There's another one in here that does the same thing.
So that's why it's a 10 and not an A. But this is just a quick little card game. You
are collecting cards for points, basically.
Yeah.
Score at the end of the game.
You set up the cards in a tower of 5 cards across, 8 cards down, and on each turn you have a choice of either moving across the row that you're in or moving down a row or 2, or you can move down actually as far as you want.
And you can go back and forth on the same row as much as you want.
You can just never go back up in the tower. You have the goal is to go down and escape out. And then you get points based on who has the most suits of each type of card, who has the most point values of each type of card. Who's the first to get out. So it's just a little card collecting, set collecting and point game. And it was actually
10 minutes.
It was 10 minutes. It was actually a cute little game. My only complaint is the stands don't work real well. So we replaced those with
because the stands are just little bitty cardboard.
Yeah, they're just little cardboard stands, and I replaced them.
You had a bunch of plastic stands for them.
Yep. So that is 10-Minute Heist.
Yep.
Cute little game. It'll stay in the collection. Well, it'll stay. This we're gonna put in the other collection.
Yes, it's gonna. Yeah, it's going over into the
travel collection
because I see it coming off the shelf loading on there.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay, so since I screwed up the order there, I'm just gonna go ahead and pull these out.
Okay.
These are what my feature have in store for me for next year. This is Ants in the Pants. So to understand what I'm saying is I made a New Year's resolution of not getting upset with playing games. And one of these games, well, I lost it a long time ago, but one of these games I started we had to take a break from the game. Let's just put it that way. And you'll know the game when it comes up.
Yes. So anyway.
So Ants in the Pants. And this is...
finish explaining your New Year's resolution, because the resolution was if he got upset playing a game.
Oh, yes.
That I would get to pick the games all next year. For some reason, he thinks this is going to be it, since I won like in 3 minutes, if that. I think I took 5 shots and 4 of them hit. So anyway.
I couldn't even get some of my ants to even get off the table.
Hopefully we don't need to explain Ants in the Pants to you, but the goal is to get your 4 ants into the pants of whichever version you're using.
We played the original one with the little dog.
Yeah.
Or you could play, we had SpongeBob. But
so we're really debating on these. These are, for obviously, sitting in the travel collection in the kids section. We are very much debating what we're doing with the kids section of games. I think we've decided we're going to cap the young kids, which is basically ages 3 and up, at 20. So we may state that games are staying, but they're going to.
Well, we said one of these were at least going to go to the sale pile.
One of these is going to the sale pile, yes.
And more likely SpongeBob.
I'm inclined to put SpongeBob in the sale pile just because all the others we have in the Cootie Games series are the originals. And if I'm going to keep any of them, I think I'd rather keep all the originals. So for that reason, I think we're keeping this guy for now. Again, we hit that 20.
Yeah, and it could leave.
Some of them may end up.
So right now it's making it, but it could get bumped.
Yeah. So this guy's going to the sale pile. This guy is staying put for a little while. So that's those two.
So the next game that we got played, not in order anymore. This is Apotheca, the Secret Potion Society.
This
This
one
is a set
there's
collecting,
a little
I
bit of
guess.
stuff on the back, but
Mhm.
I took a picture of this guy, so we'll try. But yeah, it's set collecting, but it's more than that.
Right. You gotta, when you flip over a tile, you're gonna get a gem.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be able to use these gems to buy Apothecas. You need Apothecas to be able to get a set.
Right.
To score
So the board, it's a 4x4 board, and potions are put out on the board, turned over, so you can't see what they are. But the goal is to get 3 in a row, whether vertical or not vertical, horizontal, or horizontal or vertically, not diagonally.
Right.
So each player is putting them out in a certain way with an arrow pointing to them, so they can always look at what those are. But the Apothecas help you move things.
Yeah, they all have special
Like-
one-time powers for each round.
Yeah, you can use the powers on them up until the time that you use them to take a set. And
Right.
at that point, they're blocked and you can no longer use
Yeah,
their
the
powers.
set you take, you put it on top of it to block the powers from that Apotheca.
Right. So, and some of the Apotheca powers are like, one of them I had last night was you can just simply swap 2 potions, swap the positions of 2 potions that are next to each other. I had another that said you can move 1 potion vertically and 1 potion horizontally, but those 2 potions can't be sitting next to each other. Just some weird, every one of them has different movement powers to allow you to shift things around. So
yeah, but on a round you can lay what is it? Restock the board.
you can restock the
If
board
there's
up to
less than
3.
3 unseen tiles out there, you can
Yep.
stock up to 3. You can
Flip one over.
flip one over, and whatever you flip over, you get a gem for that.
Yep.
If you make a set, you get to keep it as long as you have an Apotheca to put it on. If you
Right.
don't, you just get a gem for the color that it is.
Right. And then the set goes away. The goal of the game is to get 3 sets, 3 sets that you're able to keep.
3 covered up Apothecas.
Right.
let's just say.
So, and you purchase the Apothecas by getting the gems. So it's definitely a puzzle of a game. I did like it. I remember we got this one because
your brother and his wife brought it over on my
Yeah.
50th birthday. We played it. I really super liked it then,
yeah,
but I've kind of cooled on it now because we have so many different games.
yeah. We didn't really talk about whether this one will stay in the collection or not.
We've had this since 2017.
Yes, we've had this
and
since
this is only
2017.
the second time we've played it.
Yes.
So it may just go ahead and go over to the other collection because it doesn't get played over here.
Right. Actually,
We did already replace
We
the
already
spot,
replaced it.
So it's going over to
this
the other
one,
collection.
no, you're right. This was one that we decided was going to go over
Because we haven't played it.
because of how long ago we played. The last time we played it was 2018.
We had to
So-
knock the dust off of it when we pulled it out.
So, fun game. I
Yeah.
think it is a fairly solid game, but it is
Just not
definitely
making our
definitely
collection.
lighter. So it is not something that we pull off the shelf very often, obviously. So this one will go over to the travel collection and have a home there.
This next one is Animal Suit. This is technically a real-time game, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it is. This is designed for players 5 and up. Okay. This was one you got to see these silly things. This is one, the board essentially is just a whole bunch of characters. The whole board is like this. So there's only 4 characters on here, but the difference is how they're dressed and what accessories they have on. Do they have sunglasses on? Every character or every player gets one of these 4 little books, and you roll a die.
Well, you gotta open the book up.
Yes.
So that there's
So-
the same colors on both sides.
Yep. You start with the
Yeah.
book opened up like so. So you got your 4 colored tabs on each side, and
Roll the
you
dice.
roll the dice. And each player can either, so say you roll
The yellow.
the yellow. Each player can either flip their yellow this way, or they can flip, put that back, or they can flip this yellow this way. So that flipped one too far. So, and then they look at this picture and then they have to find this picture. I'm trying to do this without glare. They have to find the picture on the board.
I've got the thing upside down. But
That's all right.
You get the picture.
Literally. So the first player to find their animal exact match has to have the right hat and the right accessories and the right sunglasses or whatever this picture shows. Then they throw
You
their
yell out animal soup and throw
Yep.
your spoon in the bowl.
Yep.
So if somebody says at the same time, whoever spoon hits the bowl first.
But
gets the
then
token.
you have to point to your animal. If
It's
you
gotta
are
be
correct and everybody agrees that this is the animal that you pointed to, then you get to take one of the tokens out of the bowl. When 12 tokens are gone, person with the most tokens wins the game. It is a cute little game for kids. It is, I think it definitely teaches
How to scan.
how to skip right. There you go. Well, I think it teaches that ability to look for details.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because every one of the animals is just slightly different. You may have 4 of them with tiaras on, but only one of them has a bow tie. You know, so I think it's a cute little game. For now, it's going to stay. I can ironically see teenagers having a ball with this. We laughed pretty hard ourselves last night playing this. So
It stays.
for now, it'll stay. Again, this is going to be one of those 20. I think we're already at 4 in the A's alone, and we still have 25 letters to go. So we'll see.
Next one is a callback to a number,
Yep.
which makes 7 Wonders
Architect.
Architect. This is one we just picked up
Yep, we
on our
picked up in
last
Phoenix.
road trip acquisition. Go look at the video. It's up. This is definitely 7 Wonders light.
Very much so.
light.
I was very
We were both
disinclined to pick this up. I don't know why we did
Well,
when
we
we did.
heard that it made 7 Wonders very light. And we was
yeah,
like, do we
and
really
both-
need it?
Yeah, we like 7 Wonders. We have 7 Wonders dual. I think what finally made us do it was the fact that it made 7 Wonders a 2-player game.
Mhm.
And even though we have dual, we decided to give it a shot. What the heck,
But
right?
this still can play up to 7 players.
But yes, but this can still play 7 players, but yet make it a whole lot faster.
Mhm.
This takes
Less
it,
decisions
yeah,
to be made.
it really is. So we picked it up, and I have to admit, I'm actually very impressed. I do really like the game.
Yeah,
I
I like the
love-
fact that you got to build.
You've got to build your
You got to
wonder.
build your wonder.
You don't
piece
just
by
have
piece.
cards. Yeah, you actually have wonders that you build piece by piece. But what I really love about this is the storage. Oh my gosh. This is one player's pieces.
His wonder and his
So
cards.
all the cards are up there. Their wonder is down here. What they do is right here. Literally everything is in these pieces, and there's 7 of them. So I absolutely love that. Now, that being said, I'm not really impressed with the other component tray because I feel like they just made it generic and threw everything in there, but whatever. But the idea with this one is everybody has their own set of cards.
Well, you
and
start with your own set of
you
cards,
start
but
with
they're
your-
out there for everybody to
Right.
take.
Everybody has their own set of cards with their own little tray, and you put your tray between you and the person next to you. And every player who plays does the same thing. So you've always got access to 2 sets of cards on either side of you and 1 set in the middle of the table. The set in the middle of the table is the generic set, but all the cards have, here's all your resources. And I'm looking for something besides a resource, and your victory point ones, and your science ones, and your military ones. And these ones really need to be shuffled. These I don't think, we haven't played
We
with
haven't
this
played
one.
this one yet.
That's why it hasn't been shuffled. But all the cards that you're used to seeing in regular 7 Wonders are all right here. So it gives you the ability to become familiar with the icons, or maybe to teach somebody the icons so they get used to the basic play of it in a little bit faster and easier to understand way than 7 Wonders. And don't get me wrong, I love 7 Wonders, but I think it's a very hard teach. It's a very hard teach to me. So, but anyway, that's Seven Wonders Architect. We really enjoyed it. It will definitely stay in our collection. I could definitely see this getting played. I mean, you pull it out, you play it, and I think it took us 15 minutes last night. So it's a very, very fast, light. I hate to use the word filler, but it could almost be a filler game.
Yeah, it's an introductory game.
Yeah, very much so.
For sure.
So yeah, definitely like this one.
Next is another kids game called Apple Pop. Go ahead.
All right, so this is one that is a 3D game.
Yeah, you can see it right there.
The game, you have basically, you have a 3D tree, kind of like Everdell, but this one you actually interact with.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So you've got a 3D tree that holds all of these, they're basically ping pong balls up top. And the goal is you have to hit one of the ping pong balls from the bottom with a spoon and pop the apple out of the tree, but yet it has to land inside your box. Your game board is the bottom of the box. So the whole thing has to land inside the box. If it falls outside the box, the other player or the next player in line gets to put that apple back at wherever he wants to in the tree. But if you can make it land inside the box, then you get to keep it and you put it in your basket. If you could actually hit one of the baskets,
if you knock it out and it actually lands in one of the baskets, you get another turn.
I think
we decided we was going to keep that because it's so much different than any of the other games.
So different. And honestly, the components are great. I mean, they're ping pong balls, just little ping pong balls, and the plastic baskets are plastic, and everything is just such. I mean, my one complaint is the poor little spoon broke, but he's fixable. But yeah, I liked it. It was actually very cute. So we'll hold on to this one for now. Like I said, because it is so unique.
So our next game is V1. Anti-Monopoly. This is what, if I had not already broken my New Year's thing, is what broke my New Year's resolution.
So, okay, so it's basic Monopoly. I mean, seriously, it is Monopoly with just a hair of a twist. And
I'm not sure if it's really anti-Monopoly, kind of.
Okay, so with this one, basically, you've got your Monopolies. It's 6-player. 3 players play as Monopolies. The other 3 players play as competitors or competition. They play as what is the word they use?
I think it was competitors.
Competitor.
Yeah.
So the competitor is more like how you want business to be. You want there to be decent competition in something.
Low
because
prices,
otherwise prices get out of control, i.e. Monopoly. So 3 players are playing as Monopolies. The other 3 players are playing as competitors. The two different sets have different rules. Monopolies play by the basic rules. The more you own of something, the more expensive you can charge, the more rent you can charge. Competitors, however, don't get that option. Yes, you can still add houses and apartment buildings, but and get a little bit more money, but it does not grow exponentially like the Monopolies do.
Because like the transportation ones, because it's not all trades. There's buses and planes and trains and moving trucks.
Yes.
And if a competitor has it, they're only $20, no matter how many have it.
Yep, $20 if you
now, if a monopolist has it, they go up.
It started at 40. Oh, hi. We're being interrupted.
Yes.
If the monopolist has it, then it starts at 40. One, you pay 40. But by God, if they have 2 of them, you pay 80. Then it jumped to 160. And God forbid you let them have all 4 of them. It was $320 every time you landed on one of them. Needless to say, that's what I went after first because I was a competitor.
She got all but the one.
I got all but one. So yeah, I mean, I liked it. Yeah, rent is
competitors'
different.
rents are lower than the Monopoly rents.
I liked it for its differences. I think with more than 2 players, it
It
maybe
might be
okay.
different enough, more than 2 players. But they tried to balance it a little
I
bit.
think they tried to balance it, and I think overall they did, because the monopolies had a lot of things that they got more money for, but they had things they had to spend more money for.
Yes.
So yeah,
The free parking, which is called something else. What is that freaking thing called? And of course they got it covered up, and I don't want to open up the box. So.
If you like Monopoly, if you are a fan of Monopoly, this might be worth checking out.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't like Monopoly, I wouldn't bother with it. It is enough like Monopoly. It is enough like Monopoly that I don't think you're going to like it any better.
Yeah. Well, there's no chance cards, and there's no community chess cards. The monopolist has a pile of cards that they draw from, and the competitors have their own pile.
And both piles have good and bad in them.
Yep.
I mean, I'm not unhappy we played it, but at the same time, I don't.
It got, like I said, it got to a point where we had to stop.
That being said, do we keep it? Does it stay in the travel collection?
I don't think so.
I don't.
We have enough monopolies.
We have so many monopolies.
We have a lot more that's probably going to be a little more.
That are going to add
a little more fun. Are going to be fun. That word?
No, they're going to add more variation to it.
Yes.
We do have a lot of them that'll add more variation. So I will be curious to try some of those when we get to the M's.
Mm-hmm.
But in the meantime, I think this guy's hitting the sale pile.
Yeah. Next is another new game that we picked up on the last acquisition trip, and that is Aquatica.
How did we pick up so many numbers and A's on this last trip?
I don't know.
I feel like we picked up a lot.
Yes, I know.
Anyway, okay, Aquatica.
Aquatica it's basically points. I mean,
it is definitely a point.
It is like
I was shocked how much I liked the mechanics in this one.
Yeah, you use cards, so it's kind of it's a bit of a deck building game.
Yeah, because you're buying you're getting
scoring cards. You're getting
your character cards.
You're
buying.
Yes.
So every player starts with 6 character cards and 4 manta rays. Manta rays. The manta rays have a special power on the back of them, and you could use them once per. I don't want to say round because that's not right.
It kind of has the I'm drawing a blank now.
There's one card in your set that you can never discard that allows you to pick up all your other cards. So it has that mechanic. And when you do that, you reset all your mana rays back to where you can use them again. But the cards allow you to do a specific ability. They might give you resources, whether it be power or money.
Yeah.
Which is the power is, what was that called? They're tridents.
There's a
little trident symbols. You can purchase locations. You can pick up more character cards and build your deck a little bit. But in the meantime, through all of this, you're watching for the bonus sections because that's one of the game
The character cards can be bought with just money.
Yes.
The locations can be bought with the trident symbol cards or the money.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was a fun one. This one had a very unique mechanic. And I'm just going to show one of the player boards really quick here because it has the player boards. It don't look like anything.
They're upside down.
I'm upside down. Of course I'm upside down. Why wouldn't I be upside down? The player boards slide. So as you pick up a board, your cards slide up into it. And there's areas here that give you more special abilities as you go, and as you use them you slide them up and hide them, and eventually once you get them all the way to the top, now you can, as soon as you have a power that will let you do it, take them out for scoring purposes, because when they're down here they don't score. You physically have to remove them, clear that area, and put them into your scoring pile in order to score them at the end of the game. I just thought that was a really neat mechanic, and the fact I love these boards. Great components. The manas are, the manta rays are all nice heavy plastic. They're not cardboard. So yeah, nice game. Good pick.
Yep. Next
All
one
right, next.
is Anno 1503. This is an old one.
This is an old one. Yeah, we got this one fairly early in our collection.
Yeah, 2003, 2004.
Yeah, we got this one fairly early, and even then it was an old one.
This is by the makers of Catan.
Yeah, it is not.
Trollberg or whatever his name
It's
was.
not billed as part of the Catan universe,
No,
but it
by the makers of them.
was by the
same
makers
designer.
of the same designers, Catan. Yes, there is still a lot of trading, but this time you only trade with the bank. You
Well,
don't trade with each other.
You trade with your people in your town.
Well, yes, but you trade, yeah. Okay, so with this one, ooh, knock it over. All right, so with this guy, you've got pioneers and settlers. So every player has their own player board. And you start out with one settler and one pioneer. You can add 5 more throughout the game. You can also, but you still have to, you roll dice for resources, just like in Catan. You can collect your resources. The only hitch here is you can only have a maximum of 5. You can't hold a whole handful like you can in Catan. Because there is no there is a robber aspect, but it's not for your resources.
Yeah, that's if you will.
That's something different. So anyway, so you trade resources to either build your boats, to put
more
find
town
more,
folk and
yeah,
stuff in.
yeah, basically to attract more pioneers
Grow
or
your
settlers,
city.
to grow your city. As you do so, you're getting special buildings that give you extra abilities.
And everybody that comes in has to be a pioneer first.
Yes, you start
And
out
then
as pioneer, and then you kind of
upgrade each one to get them to the higher
Yep.
things, and each one you can sell certain resources to each one.
Yes. So, and obviously there's more to it than that. We're not going to go into a full rules breakdown, but I enjoyed the game. I do enjoy it. Will it come off the shelf a lot? Probably not. But at the same time, I know that if we ever got rid of it, we'd never find it again.
No.
This one, again, is another one we didn't talk about, but I suspect it will stay for now. Will it stay forever? I don't know.
Yes, it still has its slot.
We have not filled its spot yet, but there is literally dust on the box. So
yeah, and it'd been 2 or 3 years since we played this one too.
But yet every time we pull it out, I remember how much I enjoyed it. So, because I'm not a big fan of Catan, I don't like the trading aspect, and this one takes that piece out of it. But yet you still have resources that you have to gather to build stuff. But I think it gives you a little more flexibility in your resources, because
there is one wild spot.
There's a wild spot where you can pick up anything, but there's also this ship, and your ship, you're going out and searching islands, and when you search islands, you're pulling over basically ports that give you alternates. So maybe you don't always need stone. Now you can put spice on your port for that number, so your numbers can gather 2 things. Kind of like
so yeah, it still has a spot on the shelf still.
Yeah,
because we haven't filled that one in, so it can stay for now. But like I said, once it's on a short leash.
Yeah, it is on the short list, unfortunately, because it doesn't come off the shelf very often. So, but we'll see. But that is Anno 1503.
And the last one is Stefan Feld's AquaSphere. Right out of the gate, I love Stefan Feld games.
This is not one of your favorites.
Right, this is not my favorite one at all. I mean, it out of the games we have, it's probably one of the lower ones that I like.
I like this one. It is not my favorite Stefan Feld by any means, but I do like it. I feel though that there is a lot going on. It is a very colorful board, and the pieces are all fabulous. It is very versatile. The whole thing literally changes every game. There's the versatile board. So the board comes in 6 pieces. The center piece tells you each round what to fill your station with.
what goes in each pod.
Right. What goes in each pod, whether you've got little octopods that are
Minus
attaching
points.
to the end, to the outside of it, that are minus points at the end of each round, whether you've got crystals that you can harness to use for other things. Then there's research you can do. There's all sorts of stuff. But anyway, it is very much a point salad, typical Stefan Feld. It is very, very much point salady. And I like that typically.
Yeah, but I don't know what it is. I don't like the octopods, for one.
You haven't liked the octopods since.
And I think that's the main thing about this game that
I think the very first game of this we ever played, you really got
yeah. I got
beaten down by the octopods, and could not figure out how to get it out. And
I think there's a lot. The actions. There's a lot less actions you can do.
This is
before it because after everybody's done their actions, then there's a mid-game, a between round scoring.
Right. So you do 5 mid-round scorings, and then you got your final scoring, which is not very much. But it's a set collection. It's point salad. It's got that whole feed your people mechanic where you have to get rid of octopods or you lose points.
Yes.
There's a scoring track where it is divided off at every 25, I believe it is. It may not even be that often, but if you don't have any crystals to pay to get past that point, then you're stuck there till you get a hold of a crystal, or you can't gain points.
Yeah. And to be able to move from one pod to another pod, all the pods except for one, is going to cost you time.
That's
and
the
you can only hold as
here.
much time. You start off being able to hold 4.
You can hold 4 times.
Hold 4 unless you buy an upgrade part to your base.
Right.
And then you can hold more.
Right.
But if you can't get to something like that, I think that's one of the things I don't like about it, because
in order to lay out subs, it costs time. Right. Subs are points. So you want to get them out.
And the more subs you get out, the more subs you're going to get each round at the beginning of each round.
And the more, in order to move around, you have to have time. So it hinders you a great deal if you can't get a hold of time markers.
And you were having no problem on the last game we played. You had no problem getting time. Like I said, I never had more than 4 in the whole game.
Well, you couldn't store more than 4.
But I could never get to any place where I could get time.
So I mean, it'll stay.
It's going to stay because it's a Stefan Feld.
It's Stefan Feld. It's part of his collection.
There's actually a roll and write of this called Octodice. So when we get to the O's, you'll be able to see it though. If I had my choice to play either one, I would play Octodice.
I do really like Octodice.
Yes, I would play Octodice before I would play this.
Well, and Octodice was our very, very first roll and write we ever picked up. And it was one of those Goodwill finds that I had no idea what it was. And we just fell in love with it. But if I had my choice between the two, I think I would choose Octodice only because it's such a quick little
with all this said though, we've probably played this just over half a dozen times probably by now. But only at 2 players. We've never played it. Now this game might be something different with 3 or 4 players. It plays up to 4.
This plays up to 4.
Yeah, so it might be different with 4 players. Even 3 players. I don't know, because there'll be more people out there to take care of the octopods and I think it'll open the board up a little bit more.
I think it will definitely make the board more challenging with 4 players. And I think that will be a turning point for us. So this may be one that
if we can get 3 or 4 players and we still 3 or 4 player game of it and we still don't like it, then maybe it's time to
part ways
send it off. But we'll hold on to it for now until we can do that.
I like the game. So we'll see. But I do definitely want to try it with 3 or 4 players. I think the next time we play it, it's going to have to be at 3 or 4 players for sure. So, all right. That's AquaSphere. And that is it for this episode. Hopefully you're still enjoying this. Let us know if any of these are your favorites or not favorites.
Or even if you've played any.
Yeah. I would really be curious to know people's opinions of Seven Wonders Architects. That was one that like I said, I was very,
I want to know
hesitant
people's
to get.
opinions of ants in the pants. Do you prefer the dog or would you prefer SpongeBob?
okay. So you have your assignment now.
So make your comments down below.
Be sure you like and subscribe. And with that being said, we'll catch you next time. More A's.